Hey everyone, I'm Bradley, and welcome to Zlangle. Captain America is one of the most popular Marvel characters in the world right now. And while he was still pretty well known before Chris Evans picked up the shield, Cap wasn't as beloved as he is today. And I was one of those people who didn't really care about Captain America. I knew who he was, and my brother loved him, and dressed up as Cap for Halloween, but I never really understood the appeal. Well, in this video, I'll tell you the story of how I came to love Captain America. Like I mentioned, my brother was a big fan, but I was more of a Spider-Man, Hulk, and Superman kind of guy. Captain America was too perfect, too pristine. Maybe not enough personal problems he had to sort out. And for those of you who also think that sounds like Superman, well, that's for another video. So how did I begin my love for Cap? Well, it all began in 2011, probably between February and May. My family was all going to the movie theater to watch a movie, I don't remember which, but we walked through the door, and my parents went over to buy our tickets while me and my brother walked around and looked at the posters on the wall. My mother called me over, they had gotten our tickets, but I turned around, and in front of me, one of those huge cardboard posters of Captain America the First Avenger. And I stood there in awe, just looking at it. I had grown so used to Captain America with the red boots and little scales on his upper body and little wings on his head that I had forgotten the most important aspect of Steve Rogers' character. He was a soldier. He had fought wars. He fought for our country, not just against aliens and werewolves and the Red Skull, even though I liked how they used him in the film, but against people that Steve knew were fighting for the wrong cause. He wasn't defined by his shield. He defined the shield. He made it into a symbol of justice. He wasn't just a superhero, he was a hero. And he happened to come across the means to take his ideals and change the world with them. So, after seeing that poster, it opened me up a little more to liking Captain America. But there was one more thing that cemented him as one of my favorites, and that was an episode of Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. If you haven't seen it, you should. There is one episode that highlights Captain America in a way that made me see him as the ultimate leader. Earlier on in the season, Captain America was taken and replaced by a shape-shifting Skrull. But we didn't find out what happened to him until the episode Prisoner of War, where we see Rogers imprisoned on an alien ship. And the whole episode takes place here, and we follow what he does while being stuck there for months. And watching what he does in captivity is what finally earned me his respect. He doesn't get discouraged, he just works out, trains, and gives the Skrull his name, rank, and serial number.
Name, Stephen Rogers. Rank, Captain. Serial number, 5498580. And that's all you're ever going to get from me.
And when he finally is able to escape the prison, he even attempts to sacrifice himself in order to save an enemy of the Avengers.
Is he insane? What is he doing?
He's being Captain America.
Steve Rogers is a leader. For whatever group or team he's a part of, he is almost always the one who inspires hope and motivation, which leads them to success. So by the time I went to the movies to watch The First Avenger, Captain America was, in my eyes, one of the best superheroes ever created. And in my opinion, his films are some of the greatest in the MCU, and his trilogy is by far the best one. Something I hadn't realized when I was a kid was that Cap does have personal problems. Mainly, he's a man out of time. Unlike Wolverine, who gradually lost everyone he knew because of his immortality, Steve Rogers lost everything just like that. He is a man who grew up during the beginning of the 20th century and ended up in modern times. Of course, originally, he was only asleep for about 20 years, but they constantly change when he awoke as time goes on. But whenever it is that he awakes, he is thrust into a new world, a more complicated world. The country he loves and almost dies to protect on a daily basis is changed. So while you could say Captain America is a perfect character in terms of his morals, principles, and code of ethics, that's not the issue that Captain America's stories usually deal with. It's about what he does with those principles, and the cost of holding himself to them, and of not just being a leader, but a soldier. Thanks for watching. Nuff said, and Excelsior.